Righto guys, welcome to Murray Bridge Speedway, and we're just getting set up. Got some modified sedans there. I think it's their state title. There's speed cars on tonight, and I've seen mod lights, and we've got 36 wingless. So the wingless are all parked down this end, and we've got Ryle and Furler there to our right. There's Sam, and we got the pictures to the left. We always try and get close to them, because there's a fair chance we're going to have a lend or something later on. But 36 cars in the field, so main aim as always, try and make the feature, make it to the show, which can be pretty hard to do for us anyway. So that's our main aim, try and make the feature. The top 20 cars get into the feature, so we'll see how we go. So still ripping it up. You can see a little bit of dust coming off in sight there, so we'll rip it up a bit, get the water truck back onto it, but looks like it's going to be a bit slick tonight. Great country track here, beautiful grass mound up there to sit, a few seats over here for people, and then you got the club rooms here where you can pay a little bit extra, and you got the use of the bar, the club rooms, and that outer section you can sit on and get a good view of what's happening down in the pits. Righto guys, welcome to another week in the shed. So not much happening this week, just the normal clean up. Sam cleaned it up last Sunday after getting back from Wakery. So I think all he's done this week, he's changed the injectors. We haven't changed them for a while, so we've got two sets of injectors. They're the thing that they have a bit of trouble with, these cars running methanol. So if they start running like a woolly goat, a lot of the times it's because your injectors are starting to clog up a bit. So I think we probably should be changing them a bit more often, but we tend to do it about once every 3 or 4 meetings. So we've got two sets, and we always keep one set clean, and we get them all cleaned and tested. We've changed the blocking back to our normal settings after Wakery. We adjusted a few things because it was a dry slick track to try and get a bit more drive, so basically just raising the front end a little bit, and that's pretty much it. Fiddling around with tyres during the week. We've just grooved a couple, and we've had the grinder out and just taken the hard top surface off a couple of them. And at the moment, that's a left rear, which we've got on the right rear, just to put it on the trailer. And we've currently got about 25 psi in that. We're trying to stretch that one a little bit to try and work out the stagger, or get the stagger better, because our other left rear is pretty much the same size, so we want to vary those a bit. So they're both at about 95 inches, that's the circumference around them, and we're going to try and make this one a bit bigger so we can get the stagger down a little bit if we use that tyre. So stagger is the difference between the left hand circumference of the left hand rear and the right rear. So here's the right rear over here, that one's measured up at 104 1/4. So the stagger we'd have if we put that one on the right rear at the moment is the difference between this one, which is 95 1/4. Get my brain into gear, which isn't very good. That should mean we've got about 9 inches of stagger if we ran that setup. So we're still learning about stagger. Some people are saying you should have 10, 11 inches of stagger. Some people are saying you should have 6 inches of stagger. So we've got our own theories, so we'll get that sorted out a bit later. What else we've been doing? That's pretty much it. Oh, we've done a bit of work with the beer fridge. I think we stocked that up. I'm not too sure about those mid-strength beers though. That should have a few more of those red cans in it. So I didn't know he put these cherry ripes here. They're not going to be here when he goes and packs up. So I think he's getting ready. Got the esky ready for today. Take a few drinks and a few beers for afterwards. So that's about it guys. We'll get back to Murray Bridge and see you there. Must nearly be ready for his first heat, and fingers crossed he can have a reasonable night. So we thought we made a bit of progress at Waikerie last week, just with how he went. It was a steady meeting for him, but the other thing, slick tracks tends to even everyone out a little bit, so we're not getting too excited about it. Okay, here we go, E1. He's starting at the rear on the inside. Pretty tough field he's got here. There we go. In that one, so we'll go and see what the problem is. Won't be real happy though. Okay guys, heat one. He said it felt like a bag of shit. Couldn't get any grip. So we've done changed a few shockers, some wheels, and we'll see if we can make him a bit happier. It's a hard life being a race car driver, Sam. Main man Damien over there giving it a clean up. Starting heat two on the front row outside, so let's hope we got a bit of drive for him.
Certainly is. No easy heat races when the Wingless sprints make their way onto the racetrack. The 19 of Dale Gessel, that's the reason why he was out there earlier, because he didn't get any laps in the first heat, but he'll start out of position 1 here in heat number 4. Then the 66 of Sam Martin, the 47 of Anthony Tapley, the 91 of Brent Fox, who had a runner-up spot in the last of our feature races, but had a disappointing opening heat race. We'll see how he can make up for it here. Then the 75 of Slade Petrie, sounds fast and racy. Then the 24 of Ross Miller. Then the rounding out the field will be the 14, pulls off on the back chute. Dale Gessel, Sam Martin. I should say it's the 75 of Troy Frisbee, isn't it? Kira Lee's in the 57, so it's Troy Frisbee in that 75 on that third row. So here we go. Heat number 4 underway. As they race into turn number 1. Have a look at Anthony Tapley there. 3 wide. McCarthy up the inside. So Jack McCarthy started mid-pack. He's already up to the race lead in the completion of lap number 1. He's gone from 6 to 1 in 360 metres here in heat race action for the Wingless sprint. Sam Martin also tries to go 3 wide down the back straightaway. The action of plenty here in the Wingless sprints. Brent Fox at a slight moment in the 91. As we have a look on screen, is that battle for second, Tapley, Martin and Gessel. And then Brent Fox trying to work the outside, the 91. He'll get the spot. Will he dive down on the inside of Martin? Although Dale Gessel fights back in the 19. It's a good wheel-to-wheel racing further back, but our leader, Jack McCarthy, has got away. It's McCarthy, Tapley, Martin, the top 3. And Brent Fox trying to make his presence felt in the 91. So Jack McCarthy in the 20 shoot. as we go back to green with 4 to go. So back underway, whereas we were with 4 laps still remaining in heat number 4 tonight for the Wingless Sprints. There's a bit of a bouncy moment there for Anthony Tapley in 47 as he looks to go on the upstairs line as he tries to sell Jack McCarthy a dummy. Has he managed to do that by sending Jack McCarthy upstairs? Is Jack going to get that covered? So they've swapped here. Excellent racing between these two at the front. Both very, very experienced racers, of course. Then we go back to Brent Fox in the 91. Monday in the 66, Dale Giselle in the 19, and Brad Evans in the 33. But I think Jack McCarthy responded to that. He would have known that Anthony Tapley would be a tough one to crack behind him, but nevertheless, he had to work hard. White flag is out inside the last lap and down the backstretch for the last time. As you can see in camera, now under the effect of the floodlights here at the Murray Machining and Sheds, Murray Bridge Speedway, Jack McCarthy takes heat 4.
Well, that's probably a bit better race for him. Out the car field with that one, we made a heap of changes. Whoops, we're wobbling things around here.
Yeah, no, pretty good. It's finally hooky, like the best it's been at the bridge. Even though I went backwards, bloody some good drivers in front of me, and thought I was staying with them for a bit, but just one small mistake with those guys, and yeah, it's bloody 10 metres gone.
Well,
so
91 Foxy's getting around pretty good
yeah,
the last few weeks.
so
Feature
but yeah, if anything, it's this corner here is sweet. You really got to throw it in. It's a bit rough, so it can be a bit hairy sometimes. But the other corner, I'm struggling to get it to break away a bit. I think we just went too wide with the changes, so we might just take the outside rear out back to where it was, and that hopefully that might make it a bit easier.
Sounds like a plan.
So, but other than that, I think we'll leave everything out wide, like where I was going. It was sort of hooking up. Soon I tried a couple of times when Fox got past me. I tried a bit lower a couple of times, but it just wasn't as good. So I think I need to run that high line, so, which I haven't had much experience.
Just be careful of them ducking under. Sort of.
Yeah, well, who gives a shit at this stage? We're going for the B main anyway,
So didn't have to do the 5-minute gap then until he calmed down. So he actually looked a lot quicker than the first one, so that was a good result. Should put him near the front for the B main somewhere, so we'll see how it goes. So Jenna Curve has just had a big one. I'll try and find it on Clay Per View if we can get the replay. Big roll over evidently she got pretty high up in the air, so don't know if they'll try and get it ready for the B main. Haven't seen Jenna yet. She's probably still down with the medical team. They always check them over no matter what. Hopefully she's okay.
Oh, massive roll. Jenna Curvers upside down in a big way in turn 1. There we go. So we saw her get a little untidy getting into the back of the 99 on the previous restart, but that was a heavy crash for young Jenna. Fair bit of air right there. Let's hope she's okay. Getting out of the race car. How about it, Murray Bridge? Good to see Jenna Curvers out of the race car.
Okay guys, well they're running late here tonight. That's what happens when you've got too many classes on and a few prangs. And they've canned the B main for the Wingless, so the top 20 get in. So Sam's just gone down for a look. Going to be very close. I think we're probably just going to miss out on making it to the A main. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep my eye on Sam when he walks back. He's either going to have a smile or he's going to be disappointed. Still working on Jenna's car over there, so they probably don't have to rush now because there's no B main. So here he comes. See if my poker reading skills are any good. I'm guessing he did not make the A main. I think he's out of it. So he's got his head down. He might be trying to bluff me, but I don't think he made it. Didn't make it.
Hole in the B too. No, I just made that up. I feel like it would have been somewhere up the front.
You don't know what number, where you come? Okay, just missed out, guys, so it's a bit of a bummer. At least it was good to have a good last race, so we...
Well, we're going to start with that shock set up from now on. So,
the two front shockers we haven't used before, which Leon told us we should use when the track's slick, but I was a bit stubborn, so we got the setup. The 4 shocks we've got on now are what it should be for a slick track, and that's finally got him a bit of grip and made it a bit tight, so he's happy with that. So that's it. Finish for the night.
So here we go. 3 to go. We have gone back a lap, so he got a good restart, Tyson Martin. So Ryan Alexander really has to put in some good laps here. And Tyson Martin has done an outstanding job on this restart. Half of the lead is opened up already. And he'll just run around the bottom, you'd think. Protect that inside line. Especially in the 3-4 end of the speedway. Oh, we've lost a couple of cars on this restart. So go down the back straight. This time by to be 1 to go for Tyson Martin in the SA number 1. Into turn number 3. For once again, the car is understeering badly through turn number 1, but he's able to bring it under control. Down the back straight for the final time. Into turn number 3 and 4. Your wingless sprint feature winner will be Tyson Martin in car number 1. Second across the line will be Ryan Alexander, followed by Jack McCarthy, Anthony Tapley. Brent Fox got to 5th after starting almost dead last in the field. Robert Hurd, Nate True and Ryland Furler, Daryl Sloan and James.
G'day guys, just another rundown on the meeting from Saturday just gone at Murray Bridge. Yeah, another mediocre night at the bridge. Just can't seem to put a good night together there. We seem to have one okay race or good race and one shit race, and yeah, Saturday was no different. First race, just car just wanting to turn around on me. It was just a handful to drive and just had no speed whatsoever. Come in a little bit grumpy because I've never had the car actually hooking up like where I'm like, oh, here we go, like I'm gonna have to fight it. And I just said to the old man, let's just do everything. So we changed the shocks. We put a new outside rear on, a new, well, 1 race old inside rear. We put the spacing in on the outside rear and out on the inside rear. So yeah, that's 3 reasonably big changes to sort of hook the car up a bit, and went out in the next heat and it was hooking. It was, probably went too fast. She was a bit of a handful to drive, which I was still happy with that though, just to finally have something to sort of hang on to. Still wasn't on the pace with the top guys. I sort of felt like I had a bit of a unlucky draw. Just every time I was out in the car and I'm looking at the cars around me, it's like jet. But yeah, it's a good learning curve to follow those guys and battle with them. So yeah, in that respect it was okay, but didn't help us with making the A main though. So we didn't quite make that. B main got cancelled, which was very unfortunate. I think with the car that I had in the last race, I would have been a good chance. I've just washed the car, gave it a real good clean this week. Got Gambia in 2 weeks' time, so just thought we'd run through it completely while I got a bit of time. Yeah, big thanks to Drendel again. Come out to help in the pits again, and yeah, bought some methanol for us and bought a new jack off eBay there and then, so got that coming soon. Yeah, and I think that's about it. Washing the car and found an issue with the front left brake caliper. I'll just turn this one around. Yeah, she was seized right up, and even now she's real real tight, so that definitely would not be helping, and might have been a fair bit of my issue. And I was sort of in the second heat when those good guys sort of come past on the inside and just sort of pulling away down the straight slightly. I thought 5/10 quicker than me a lap, and I'm thinking, you know, I might be able to work on 2/10, but 5/10 is a you know, a fair bit. But sort of now that I've seen that, that's probably slowed me down a little bit. So that's sort of probably a little bit of good news, and I'm a bit relieved. So hopefully that will sort of help me out with a bit of speed. Thought I'd have a quick check of this caliper. Looks like these caliper bolts have come loose, and it's pulling the whole caliper across onto the disc there. So hopefully if we just tighten her up, it should free up and be all good. I'll just do a little bit of each one at a time. So that's nice. That's how far out it was. Sort of bring them back across together. So that's nice and tight. Hopefully yeah, that's way freer. So that was all it was. Silly mistake, but a cheap one at least. Just got to keep an eye on that and make sure we keep checking these little things in between heats. So rookie mistake, but we'll learn from it.